Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Sondra. Sondra and Sondra are Scottish forms of Sandra, itself an abbreviated form of Alessandra, which is the Italian equivalent of Alexandra, from the Greek meaning defender of mankind. Sandra was first made popular by an English writer George Meredith, 1828–1909, who used it as a pet form for his heroine Emilia Alessandra Belloni in an obscure novel called Emilia in London, which was later republished as Sondra Belloni in 1887, a comic story about English social climbing in the Victorian era. Sandra is the admirable, beautiful, intelligent, humorous, musically gifted, eccentric and passionate protagonist of the novel, albeit from a simple background, but one who breathes all the life and love into the story as she is contrasted against the silly and vapid societal rules of Victorian England. Meredith's novel is believed to have triggered the usage of Sandra as a female given name in the late 19th century, and the Scottish pronounced it as Sondra, Sondra. In 1925, American novelist Theodore Dreiser used the name Sondra Finchley for one of his central female characters in the novel, An American Tragedy. The novel was made into a film in 1931, which heavily influenced the usage of Sondra as a given name in the United States. A more popular version of the film starring Elizabeth Taylor was released in 1951, but the Sondra Finchley character's name was changed to Angela Vickers. Personality of the girl named Sondra. The number 8 personality has everything to do with power, wealth, and abundance. Somehow, this personality has been blessed on the material plane, but their authoritative and problem-solving traits provide evidence that their good fortunes are not just the luck of the lottery. They are well-earned. This is the personality of CEOs and high-ranking military personnel. 8s are intensely active, hard-driving individuals. Success is only meaningful to them after a job well done. They are remarkable in their ability to see the larger picture right down to the smallest details, and organize a strategy around success. They then have the ability to direct a group around them toward any goal, and realize individual potential to get the most out of their team. Popularity of the girl named Sondra. You can see from the chart below that the name Sondra appeared on the U.S. female naming charts shortly after the publication of Dreiser's An American Tragedy, 1928. However, it really catapulted to semi-respectable popularity after the 1931 film release. As a female given name, Sondra enjoyed most of her success during the 1930s and 40s, reaching her peak popular in 1940 at position number 199 on the charts. By the 1970s and 80s, however, Sondra quickly fell from fashion. 1988 marks the last year Sondra would claim top 1,000 status in the country. In fact, only 9 baby girls were named Sondra in 2012. 9. That's it. Quick facts on Sondra. Gender, girl. Origin, Scottish. Number of syllables, 2. Ranking popularity, not applicable. Pronunciation, Sondra. Simple meaning, defender of mankind. Characteristics of Sondra. Tenacious, authoritative, powerful, achiever, tough, wealthy, problem solver. Cultural references to the baby name, Sondra. Literary characters of the baby name Sondra. Sondra Finchley is the high society love interest of Clyde Griffiths in Theodore Dreiser's 1925 novel, An American Tragedy. In the 1951 movie based on it, called A Place in the Sun, she is seductively played by a young Elizabeth Taylor. Sondra is beautiful and rich, and as such, personifies everything that Clyde considers to be heaven on earth. With all the insouciance of her class, Sondra allows Clyde to attend to her in his adoring way, and eventually even bends so far as to fall in love with him in her own way. Clyde, of course, has impregnated a lowly factory worker, and seeks a desperate way out of that entanglement in order to be with Sondra. The results are indeed tragic, and as Clyde awaits his end in prison, he receives a note from Sondra. It is typed, it is unsigned, and it tells him he is not entirely forgotten. Sondra Finchley delivers a fatal sentence more devastating than the electric chair. Famous people named Sondra. Sondra Locke, actress, former partner of Clint Eastwood. Sondra Radvanovsky, opera singer.